What's up, guys? So today we are finally going to be working on our upper shelves on this wall. I told you guys that I was going to be putting in shelving like I did right here on this wall above the what's this called, oven. But I have been holding off on this project because things were not 100% like I would want them in order to put up these shelves. But I cannot hold off any longer because garden season is upon us. I already started 2 rounds of seeds, and so I can't hold off any longer. I need to get these shelvings up with what I have so far, and then hopefully when I have more time in the future can come back to the situation. One of the things being that our old microwave was they had a hole right here, and we patched that up. Then they also didn't have a plug. It was held in by this wire, and our new stove or our new microwave, obviously you need a plug. And so I'm going to be moving the microwave to this area right here because there is a plug right there instead of it being above the oven, because in order to do that I would have to wait for an electrician to come and do work right here and get a plug and all the things. And then there's also a plug right here, or not a plug but an electrical thing right here where there was like a radio here or something like that, and that calls for an electrician. I'm not an electrician, my husband's not an electrician, and so we've kind of just been waiting until we have the money to do it. But I can't wait any longer. I need shelves on my upper on this upper wall right here so that I can move on, and when garden season and the produce is coming in, I can feel like I can manage bringing all the produce and being able to do something with it. One of the other things was getting this this counter right here done, and I've gotten that done so that I can hold the produce and stuff like that and roll out dough. And so that was one of the other reasons why I wanted to get this area done, and I'm so happy I got it. Now I just need to focus on getting these shelves up. There is a spot right there that I didn't paint because I'm not sure what I'm doing with that area. And then I do have a, what is this called, the border, I forgot what's that thing called that goes up there. One's missing right across there, so I didn't paint all the way to the top. But I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm going to worry about putting these shelves in, and then I will have to revisit this project in the future, but for now it will be functional. So in order to do that, I am going to be using the same industrial piping that I used to build the counter. I'm going to be putting them in this way. I already set up some. I already have my boards right here. My son has already stained them, and we've already cut them to size. Right here I have some of the racks done. I need 3 of these. I already set up 2. The paper that comes with inside this box, it does show you how to connect the poles, and then how that these will be hung up to the wall. And so I'm going to, and it tells you everything that it comes with, so I'm going to get the last rack set up so that we can start installing it onto the wall and get these boards set up. It's going to actually be 3 boards. One's going to be longer than the rest of them because in the corner I'm going to put the microwave, so then there will be 2 shorter boards going across from the microwave. Okay, so I got the last rack all put together, and like I said, it shows you how to put it together. It's pretty simple. This would have been so much easier if this counter wasn't there, but since it was there, I had to use the ladder and kind of reach over the counter, and I didn't want to put my full weight onto the counter because I still had dishes and stuff underneath, so I wasn't sure how much weight it could hold, even though I don't weigh that much. But I definitely just tried to tiptoe onto the counter and not put my full weight, just tried to use the ladder to put majority of my weight and see if I can reach over. But I definitely thought about stopping at one point and asking my son to remove the oven, to remove the counter, so that it would be so much easier for me to hang in these racks. So I have the first one up, and in order to add the other ones, I have to measure how long the microwave is, because the microwave will be over here, and it was like 29.5, so I'm gonna do it to 30. So my next one will be about right there. And the top board going across was supposed to be 9 feet, and I just got it, and I realized that when they cut it, I got a 10-foot board and told them to cut 1 foot, that they actually cut too much. So I think this board is about 8.5 feet, which will not make it go all the way across like I wanted it to. So I'm going to have to bring in my first one. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about when I get there. But for now, I think we're gonna have to get this board up, because with it being too long, I'm not gonna be able to put the board in once all of the industrial piping is in, because I don't have enough space to slide it in that way. So I enlisted the help of my daughters. The piping I'm using is from Vevor, and I will leave a link in the description box to their direct website or to Amazon link where you can purchase these industrial piping if you are looking into getting yourself some piping as some shelving. I absolutely love these shelving, and once this kitchen is finished, which this is the last area that I will be adding these shelving to, I will have to start heading into my dining room and building a bookshelf in there. That is where I want to keep all of our homeschooling books. And so I'm so excited to finally have this shelving done. We could not find the leveler, and so I was just trying to eyeball the first two and see if maybe I could get the board as level as possible with my eye. And the first two was pretty easy, but by the time I got to the third and fourth one, I realized that I needed a leveler, and so I was able to find it after a while. It was super hot up there, and I was having difficulty because on the specific one I couldn't find a stud, and so it was not working out as best as possible. But we got it done, and I was super happy about it. I did end up needing my son's help, because once we added the boards, the piping got heavier, and it was too heavy for my daughters to be able to hold the piping with the shelving on it up while I was screwing, and they weren't long enough or big enough to be able to, for me to hold the shelving up and then them screw in. So I did end up recruiting the help of my son to do this third piping. And this is where things got really interesting. I didn't know when I was hooking up this last piping that I accidentally screwed in the wrong pipes from another leftover project that I had. And so the ones from Vevor are 12 inches, and so the board was 12 inches. Except for I accidentally screwed in the 10-inch ones that I had, and so it was not fitting the board, and I couldn't understand why. I thought the wall was uneven, and so I was trying to measure the wall, trying to figure out if they cut the board wrong, because I did get this board cut in Home Depot, but that wouldn't explain why it was fitting the other 3 pipes until I left, and then my husband ended up calling me and telling me that I had the wrong pipes hooked up. Okay, so I just got back home. I just got back home, and I realized, well, my husband realized while I was gone that I actually had the wrong poles hooked up to here. So I had some leftover poles from another project that I did, and these are supposed to be 12-inch poles, and I had accidentally installed the 10-inch poles on here. And so once he realized that, he was able to switch out for the 12-inch poles, and now it is completely finished, and we can start hanging stuff on here. So happy about it. We still have to figure out the microwave area, but the shelving is complete, so that is really exciting. So it is actually really late. It's after 10 o'clock. I did go ahead and take my seasonings out of the pantry that was already here, the small pantry, and put them in here because I think it would be better when it's time to cook and stuff to have my seasonings up here close by to me. I did go ahead and get these Lazy Susans. I got a 4-pack of this off of Amazon. One stayed inside my pantry, but I don't have one for the salt, the pepper, the garlic and onion powder, or the oil. And so I'm thinking about reworking that and maybe getting the 4th Lazy Susan out of my pantry that I have some jars on that's not seasoning, and just put it out here just to make this all even. I'm gonna have to play around with this because I didn't think about having this board so low. It kind of interferes with my KitchenAid being in the spot that it was right here opening, because it wouldn't be able to open, which is fine. I could put my KitchenAid down here because there's a plug up here so that the KitchenAid could open up when it's time to put stuff in. I also have this metal strip that I had bought on clearance at Walmart a long time ago because I knew that I wanted, it's a magnetic strip that I wanted to put here in order to display my knives, but not all of the knives can fit on there, which means that I will have to find a different area for the rest of the knives. And so that is why I haven't hung that, but I have the option to hang that. Also, down on this end, this is my container of things I use for cooking, and I had it over on this side, on this Lazy Susan over here, but again, it was too high, so I wouldn't be able to get the spoons and the spatulas out, and so I took it off of Lazy Susan, which made it a good height, but then I ended up using the Lazy Susan over in a different spot. So I'm just playing around with this. I'm not exactly sure what is going to go on all of these shelves. I did put some stuff down, more things down on this shelving because I didn't have a spot for it because I didn't have these upper shelves. But now that I have these upper shelves, I need to rework. Like, do I want to put my plates up there? Do I want to put bowls up there? I'm debating that because it is nice. I think having my plates and bowls lower just because it's easier for my kids to access. But I'm wondering, do I want my plates and bowls up a little higher, which would be on this shelf, and then kind of like move everything down? I'm not sure. So I'm just going to actually be working through this and putting stuff up, probably take stuff down. One of the things is I got these baskets. This is a 12-inch basket, and I just put my Tupperware in it because right now I don't have anywhere for my Tupperware, and I didn't really have a place for this container, but now I'm thinking up, well, you can't see, but now I'm thinking up on this top shelf might be a good place for it because it can fit. It's easy for us to take it down and put it back up. We don't use a lot of these, which is why I don't mind it being up high. Like, we don't usually have a whole bunch of leftovers to use this big one and or any of these really. So I don't mind it being up high, so I'm gonna work through that. I think also it would just take time with me cooking in the kitchen and getting used to the flow of it, like I had to with these shelves that I built, the pantry shelves, just getting used to where everything goes, let my family get used to where everything is at, and then kind of see and adjust as needed. But right now, I'm just so happy to have these shelves up. It definitely is a big stress reliever. This was definitely a project that I had been avoiding, even though I had all the material, because I knew it was going to be a little difficult, and I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to do it, what I wanted to do. And so, but now that it's up here, I'm so excited. The last thing that we have to do is figure out the microwave, but just to have these shelves up here is already just a big, like, especially with garden season upon us and seed planting time and stuff like that, just being able to have upper shelves throughout the whole kitchen now and a full counter is such a blessing. So I just want to show you a quick overview, all the shelving that we built on all the walls. And now we finally have the last shelf in. It is such a blessing. Now it's just time to organize and get things in the best placement for what I need, and we go from there. But this has been, just seeing this is such a blessing. I'm so excited about it. Seeing my shelving back here is amazing. I'm really, really grateful that I finally have this project done.